Have you ever noticed how some small things vanish from memory, while one moment from your youth sits like a photograph you cannot put away? You forget the name of a movie you watched last month. You forget the route you took yesterday. But the first time your heart pounded for someone often remains vivid. Not because you are weak or stuck, but because your brain treated that moment like a major life event and saved it. Picture a younger version of yourself in a familiar place. A school corridor with lockers humming softly. A classroom where dust motes float in late sunlight. A neighbor's wedding with bright dresses and nervous laughter. Into that ordinary scene a person walks, and the world feels louder for a few breaths. Your chest tightens, your attention sharpens, the tiniest detail becomes meaningful. The tilt of a smile, the way their sleeve catches light. You rehearse a single sentence they said, like a scene from a cherished film. Years later, even if nothing more came of it, that memory can still glow. The reason begins inside the brain. First times have power. The brain prefers newness when deciding what matters. When something happens for the first time, the mind asks silently, is this important for survival or for who I will become? A first crush typically arrives during adolescence or early adulthood, a window when identity is under construction. Questions like who am I and who might I love are taking root. So when that fluttering feeling arrives, the brain categorizes it as meaningful. The hippocampus, the part that writes memories, logs the event, while the amygdala, the emotion engine, stamps it with feeling. Emotion makes memory sticky. In short, new plus emotional equals permanent. Chemistry deepens the spell. Early attraction lights up the brain's reward circuits with dopamine. Dopamine is not merely a happiness signal, it is the incentive to seek, the pointer that says pay attention and go after this. That is why you can think of them in class, at the dinner table, in bed long after lights out. Alongside dopamine, the body releases norepinephrine, the same chemical that tightens the chest and makes the palms sweat. Those classic butterflies. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, can arrive when connection feels safe, folding the person into the landscape of closeness. These chemicals combine into a potent cocktail. Reward, attention, stress, and bonding. When dopamine spikes at a moment, the brain learns to remember what caused it. The same mechanism that forms habits and cravings. A first crush can brand itself into the mind that way. Memory is not a camera, it is a storyteller. Stories have beginnings, middles, and often unfinished endings. Many first crushes are unresolved. Confessions never spoken. Meetings that dissolve. Circumstances that keep the story incomplete. Unfinished experiences remain mentally active because the brain instinctively seeks closure. That gap invites imagination to color the memory, smoothing edges and heightening charm. Over time, the memory can be edited into a legend, a version of events shaped by longing and the creative mind. The first crush also anchors to a season of life. A particular classroom light, a ribbon in hair, the smell of rain on concrete. These sensory hooks tether the memory to a version of you. When you remember them, you remember the younger self, who was learning what connection felt like. You miss not only the person but the feeling of being new to a kind of attention. Sometimes what lingers is nostalgia for that widened self. The one that felt more seen, braver, or smaller and tender in all the right ways. There is a deeper psychological thread too. A first crush is often the moment your imagination expands. You do more than like someone. You imagine becoming someone who belongs beside them. You picture a different you. Confident, grown up, noticed. That imagined self becomes part of the memory, and the brain cherishes it, because it is the moment identity stretched. Even when life moves forward, that original expansion feels formative, like a seed moment that influenced future choices and tastes. Recognizing why the first crush lingers brings a gentler truth. Remembering it is not evidence of betrayal to the present or emotional immaturity. It is a sign of human design. Your brain saved a meaningful first so you could learn what connection felt like. The memory functions as a marker rather than a mission. When it surfaces, name it simply. This was my first imprint. Let that recognition be enough. Then choose where to place your attention now. Real love and lasting relationships are built from consistency, safety, respect, and deliberate choice more often than from fireworks. The flash of a first crush taught your brain what excitement felt like. Your current life can be where you choose steady presence. If that old image drifts in, observe it as a warm photograph, not a demand for action. Breathe, acknowledge, and return to the commitments you are shaping today. If your first crush still lives in your mind, you are not broken. You are alive. The brain did exactly what it was meant to do. It saved a moment that helped shape who you became. If you carry that memory, carry it like a token of learning, a soft reminder of the time your heart first woke.